This is the dream of true health and wellness, having a body that naturally heals itself with the power to restore balance emotionally and physically from within. Most people, though, when they get sick, they run to a doctor right away. It's what we've been conditioned to do from day one. But what if I told you that you have the power within you to heal yourself? No pills, no surgeries, just you and your body working together in perfect harmony. I'm Beth McGill, author of the Amazon bestseller, Allow Life to Happen and Receive Everything You Desire. And today, we're going to challenge the status quo when it comes to health and healing. Let's face it, relying on Western medicine takes up more mental and physical space than any self-healing practice. It's everywhere. Doctors' offices, pharmacies, billboards, and TV ads, all promising us that health comes in a bottle or through an operation. And did you know that you can get a medical membership through Amazon? That's right. Even Amazon has an app where you get 24/7 on-demand virtual care. You can request prescriptions, refills, message with a care team, and even book same-day appointments at an office near you. All told, conventional healthcare accounts for over 18% of the United States GDP, an amount larger than the entire country's economies. In the United States, the government spending has grown from $21.8 billion in 1971 to $1.5 trillion in 2021. But here's the kicker. It's not even solving the root problem for most people. All the spending and the healthcare system is still managing symptoms and not healing the cause. But the fact is, depending solely on medicine is anything but empowering. You're giving your power over to doctors and nurses and clinicians. And yes, they may be the experts in their fields, but shouldn't you be the expert over your body? It takes so much time, effort, and money just to maintain the status quo. And it's not even a long-term solution. Even the concept of modern medicine as we know it is rooted in natural healing principles, such as using plants and herbs to heal, something we've forgotten in the race towards quick fixes. So I can't help but wonder, why is the only solution we see up and down every city street a doctor's office? There are doctor's offices and pharmacies everywhere. Are there any other options beyond taking a pill or undergoing a procedure? Whatever happened to the holistic approach, using the mind, body, spirit, connection? Western medicine, as we know it today, came about during the 19th century in Europe, a time when industrialization was shaping every aspect of life. And before that, though, healing wasn't something you outsourced to a clinic. It was something you did at home with natural remedies and the belief in your body's natural ability to heal. For centuries, self-healing practices were passed down in holistic cultures, led by shamans and herbalists and ancient healers. These figures understood something we've lost touch with. They knew to look for the spiritual and supernatural causes in order to promote healing. But as pharmaceuticals and surgeries became more widespread, these ancient practices were sidelined, almost forgotten. One article from the time claimed medicine is the greatest leap of the modern age. And it is in many situations. For example, when I had my surfing accident, I went straight to the urgent care. My head was split open and I needed stitches. I wasn't going to try to stitch up my own head, especially since it was right between the eyes. And to be totally honest, I used to think that doctors had all the answers. I relied on Western medicine for everything without question. But through my own journey of learning about and experiencing energy work, I realized something profound. Healing doesn't have to come from outside of us. It's within us, waiting to be discovered. This realization happened subtly for me. I was learning and training with my energy healing in 2021. And after a year, I realized that I had not gone to the chiropractor this whole time. And this was strange for me because I usually went to the chiropractor monthly since I was always out running and surfing and working out daily. And even though I was still active, I didn't go to the chiropractor. And I was also used to getting a monthly massage. And I hadn't done that in a year either. So by doing the energy work for others, I was also healing myself. It was obvious. Dr. Joe Dispenza was the first person that I heard talk about healing oneself. When I listened to his story of self-healing, I was truly amazed and intrigued by him. Here's the story.
In order for some of us to wake up, we need a wake-up call. And in 1986, I got the call. I was in a triathlon in Palm Springs, California, and I was in the biking portion of the race. And I was coming up to this intersection. So as I made the turn, a four-wheel drive Bronco going about 55 miles an hour hit me from behind and catapulted me out of my bicycle. The compressive force compressed 6 vertebrae in my spine. The prognosis was I'd probably never walk again, and that I needed a radical surgery called the Harrington rod surgery. If this had been anybody else, I probably would have recommended that they have the surgery, but this was me. I decided to check out of the hospital, and I just had this one thought, and the thought was the power that made the body heals the body. So I would start off in my mind reconstructing my spine vertebrae per vertebrae, and then I'd start thinking about living in a wheelchair. So for 6 weeks, I went through this incredible dark night of the soul because I couldn't really get my mind to do what I wanted it to do. And it would take me about 3 hours closing my eyes and reconstructing every single vertebrae and starting over again every time I lost my attention. At the end of 6 weeks, I went through the whole entire process without losing my attention. And it was like I hit a tennis ball in the sweet spot. Something clicked in that moment. I clicked. I started noticing significant changes in my body. My motor function started coming back, and my body began to change dramatically. And I was back on my feet in 10 weeks and back training again at 12 weeks. And I just made a deal with myself. And the deal was that if I was ever able to walk again, I'd spend the rest of my life studying the mind-body connection and mind over matter. And pretty much that's what I've been doing since 1986.
Dr. Joe said, "We've been conditioned to believe that we need something outside of us to heal, when in fact, the body is capable of extraordinary things." And his personal story proves that without a doubt. But so many people still run to the doctor for every little thing. And it's really not that easy. Navigating through our healthcare system can feel like an endless maze, one that drains your time and energy. I remember spending hours in waiting rooms with my dad. After an hour or so of waiting, I would ask them, "How can you keep a 96-year-old waiting this long?" And they would give me the look that kind of says, "Who do you think you are? What makes you special?" And we kept waiting. The average person spends countless hours and dollars trying to manage illnesses, diseases, diagnosis by going to doctors. Pharmaceutical companies spend billions each year developing drugs, and it takes millions of dollars to maintain this insane system. In more extreme cases, people even become dependent on these solutions for the rest of their life. And beyond the financial cost, there's a cost to our spirit. This reliance on external medicine and resources can create stress, anxiety, and disconnection from our body's knowledge and wisdom. So I had to wonder, how can I share that there's a better way to approach healing, an alternative perspective that's more empowering than simply going to a doctor. Fast forward, I became certified as a hypnotherapist and learned self-hypnosis. A year ago, I came down with the worst case of shingles that the doctor at the urgent care had ever seen. It was all over my body. But what was even worse is it spread to my throat and my face, my ears, and my eyes. It was very extreme. And yes, I did get the shot that they offered me. But I also had read online that it could take weeks or months to fully recover. So I did the energy work on myself to release the initial causes. But then I also did self-hypnosis and had a conversation with my subconscious. I wanted to heal quickly, and my body, I found out, was on my side. I was back on video and fully healed in 4 days, not weeks or months. Our minds and bodies are very powerful. Recently, I came across the story of RJ Spina. His story is truly inspiring. RJ was paralyzed from the chest down and was told he would never walk again, but he didn't accept that fate. Through raising his vibration, RJ completely healed himself, regaining mobility in 100 days and transforming his entire life. RJ Spina says, healing is a state of mind. When you tune into the energy of your body and higher self, there's nothing you can't do. And here's his story that proves just that. What RJ and Dr. Joe both teach is that self-healing is possible. It can happen with people every day, any location, any situation. There are no barriers to healing except our own beliefs. And there's growing evidence that practices like meditation, energy healing, and working with your subconscious can accelerate recovery, boost your immune system, and improve overall healing. Dr. Joe says, we've seen people heal from terminal conditions by changing their thoughts and their energy. The body is incredibly intelligent when given the right tools. Just imagine what's possible when we start tapping into that wisdom. Dr. Joe's online platforms have highlighted many healing stories, including healing cancer, multiple sclerosis, autoimmune diseases, chronic pain, fibromyalgia, Parkinson's disease, chronic fatigue syndrome, and diabetes. I've listened to many of these testimonials, and they are truly inspiring. In my lifetime, however, the idea of healthcare has been tied to a doctor's visits, medications, and procedures. And for some people, maybe that's still what they need, and that's okay. But for others like you and me, maybe it's time to reimagine what true health and wellness looks like. Maybe it's about relying less on just managing the symptoms and relying more on the wisdom, the spirit, and the intelligence that's already inside of us. To get started today, I invite you to listen to my guided meditation, Unlocking Self-Love and Wellness. And in my next video, I am going to share more about how I practice self-healing every day so that you too can start your health and wellness and healing journey. Thank you, and talk to you soon.